expert. And hi guys, now it is live finally, and Ashley here. I am your China marketing expert, and in my videos I talk about China, marketing and leadership. Today it's a little bit later in Hong Kong, and I would like to talk to you about a very important, and it is a massive subject, which is energy. And how important energy is in business and life, and what does it actually mean? How can we maintain that energy, live that energy, and basically utilize it to help us achieve our goals? To start with, I would like to explain you what do I mean by energy. First of all, have you ever met a person at an event, or the person you probably work with, and these people just lift you up? They just have so much life to them, so much fun. So these people, we call them sometimes charismatic. We say they have a lot of energy. Some people say they've got this good aura. But essentially, these people make you feel good. And we want to be around people like that. We just want to be around people that make us feel good, which is totally natural. This is not something that you are essentially born with. This is something that you can definitely learn. And sometimes, of course, there are a couple of lucky people that were born in the families where everybody was positive and everybody was energetic, and of course they learn. Or some cultures are a lot more, let's say, energetic. And others are a bit more subtle. So for different people, it basically takes shorter or longer, but it is a learning process. You can definitely train yourself. As a leader, you don't have another choice but go and master energy. Go and master how you show up. Because essentially, as a leader, your job is to impact yourself and others, to state that direction. And in order to lead others, you need to have the strongest and the highest energy in the room, because people with the strongest energy in the room always win. Think about that. Through business negotiations, in meetings, with ideas, some of the crazy startup ideas, people with the highest energy in the room always win. As a leader, as a business owner, you need to be that person. And it doesn't matter how high your energy is right now. Is it here or is it really there? There's always space to grow. It doesn't mean that you need to be super hyper all the time, but it means that you know how to lift yourself up, how to show up in the right way, and how to get results, how to make people feel good. And also, what does it do? Being so energetic and being so positive, what does it do to you? Firstly, it's good for you. It makes you feel good. Secondly, it makes other people feel good. And thirdly, because you feel good and others feel good, you cooperate a lot better. And again, you're getting just much greater results. So this is what energy is. And I often hear that, and a lot of people comment when they see me or meet me in person. They say, "Oh, Ashley, you are so positive, you've got great energy," or something along those lines. And today, for example, I was at Rise, and I was moderating a stage in the morning, the whole morning, so it was 2 hours. And of course, it was the second day Rise conference. In the morning, the energy was a little bit down. So when you get on stage, you need to learn how do you show up, right? You need to basically show up in a way that you lift others up. And sometimes it is just the way you project it. Sometimes it is a joke. Sometimes you ask people to move. Sometimes you put a smile on their face. Most often it is a combination of all of them. But basically, I was on stage just to introduce what we're going to be doing that section for 30 seconds. And the moment I got behind the curtain, people told me, "Wow, Ashley, love your energy. Love your energy, love your energy." I hear that all the time. So today, that is why I would like to talk to you about getting and finding your awesome energy, learning to maintain it, and showing up as leaders at all times, because it can be learned. How did it happen for me? How did I find my baseline of happiness? First of all, I come from I would say, rather positive household. So my mom is a very positive person. To be honest, I never really noticed how positive she was before I saw some other people and some other families and parents where just the energy levels were much, much lower. And many, many years later, I would honestly say just a couple of years before now, just a couple of years ago, I realized that my mom was actually extremely positive. So I definitely learned from her. At the same time, I actually have a routine. Every morning, what I do is, and some of you that follow me on Instagram also have seen the video, so you know what my routine is. I wake up rather early and I drink a glass of warm water just to wake up, again, because you need to get your system going. And then I do some breathing, this and that, but the thing that I do before anything else, just after water, is I switch on music and I dance. For some people, it is really dancing. For others, you can just basically jump with your hands up. What you need to do is basically you need to get this blood going. Some people love to go for a jog or work out. It's all fine, but you need high intensity blood pumping throughout your body just to get this. Again, energy needs to come from somewhere, and in order to get that energy, you need to give it in, right? So you basically get this blood going and you feel absolutely phenomenal right after, with great music. Music is very, very important. In my office, I have Hey Google machine, and every time I feel the energy goes a bit down, usually after lunch, when everybody feels a bit like they want to go to sleep, I actually play high energy music, somebody like Kool and the Gang or Pharrell Williams or something like that. And it's extremely, extremely awesome. So apart from that, you need to have your move or your own something that gets you in that move. For somebody, it's like, for me, for example, it's like that. It's like, this haka, like the haka dance by Maori. It's like something like that. So something that gets you in this warrior mode. It can be a phrase, it can be a move. Some people again dance or jump or something like that throughout the day. If you have an important conversation or if you have an important thing happening, like you need to go on stage, definitely jump up a little bit, make your move, get that blood going again, get yourself in that beautiful state, and then go into whatever you're doing. Like, my rule is I never walk in a meeting room or get on the call if I'm not in this peak state. It takes a bit of getting used to, but essentially it is the best thing you can do in life. Like, honestly, it takes probably 1 to 2 months getting used to, and later on you will be doing it naturally. So you can maintain this impulse throughout the day. And at the same time, another very important thing is, of course, psychology. You need to truly enjoy what you do. If you are doing all these morning exercises and dancing to music and chanting whatever makes you feel good, and then you go back to work or whatever you're doing and it drains you, it's really something that you have this resistance, internal resistance. You need to eliminate it, and you need to find what makes you truly excited, or find something within your current job or position that excites you. There needs to be something, and ideally it is what you do that excites you in general, and within that you can drill deeper and find something day to day that also makes you feel even better. Apart from all that, I am a strong believer that you need to limit negative information and negative people in your life. Like, don't allow others to bring you down, especially if it's something that easy and simple as news. I used to read news, and every time basically the program starts pretty much like this: hello, good evening, or good morning. And then for 30 minutes they tell you why this morning is the worst morning in the world, right? So of course our media, and I love media and I work a lot with media, and not all of the media is like that. But when I talk about general news, everybody is trying to have a story, and the story and crisis sells. So that is why every time we hear news, it's all about crisis, crisis, crisis. Oh my God, big crisis everywhere. So I made a conscious decision 2 years ago, and I stopped reading news. So I wake up, I do not read newspapers, I do not go online to check what's happening in the world. I consume my content, and I just have it here with me. I consume my content, now advertising is coming, with Economist. So I read Economist once. Oh, this one is about China, check this out. This one is even has here the China flag. But essentially I consume Economist once a week, and then throughout the day there are always people, there's always social media like LinkedIn that keeps me up to date with if something's really, really important that I need to know about, then I get this information. Of course I get a little bit of the digest from my husband here and there, but essentially it is a choice. The same thing with negative people. There are people, especially in the online space, especially when you start, putting yourself out there, that are giving meaningful feedback. And if you respect these people, and if it is a constructive feedback, definitely listen and definitely thank them, because they are your greatest teachers. And there are people that are non-reasonable, or they just say something to bring you down, and they are going through their own thing. They are not horrible human beings, not at all, but they are probably not the right people for you to be in your immediate circle, because essentially you are the average of your immediate peer group. So if you constantly listen to people that are basically haters, or people that are trolls, or whatever you call them, each social media or each environment has its own words. It's going to significantly lower your level, your standard of everything, your expectations for yourself, your energy levels, etc., etc. So I avoid negative people if they are somehow appearing in my life. So basically in terms of work, I try not to work with them, so I don't hire anybody negative. It's very important that in my company everybody is positive and high energy and good person. That's the most important. I do not get clients that are really, really nasty. I choose to protect our insanity rather than work with somebody who is really draining you, and sometimes that happens as well. And if I don't have friends that are negative, etc., etc. Sometimes you even need to eliminate some relatives if they are truly negative and impacting you in a negative way all the time. You need to eliminate some contact with them to a certain degree to protect yourself and lead your best life and be most productive, because again, everybody's going through their own journey. And if it happens online, very simple rule: if it is constructive feedback, phenomenal, thank them and move ahead. If it is not a constructive feedback, but it is something troll related, then you just block a person. Just nobody's forcing you to consume the content that you don't like. So if you are there to basically spread negativity, then you better just block this person, so you will not see this person, and this person will not see your content as well. So it's good for all. These are a couple of my rules and a couple of the things that I'm doing right now in terms of keeping my energy high and keeping my energy going. I truly believe that this is one of the most, and it is the most important resources that you have. Some people still believe that time is the most important resource. Time is great, but if you have time but don't have energy, you cannot achieve a lot of things. I see a couple of comments here. Michael Jamsonen says, I agree with you totally. Energy is everything. You can light up the office with your energy and it will continue all day and drive performance. Absolutely. And as a leader, it is our job, right? It is our job to make sure that we show up. And it's incredible how many people do not understand, do not truly know how do they show up. I invite every one of you, and I myself do it all the time, to just observe. How do I show up in situations? How do I impact other people? How does the way I move, what I focus on, what I say, impact, others on my team or in the project or in my life? Right? So the first step is just understand what is your baseline? How do you show up right now? And then there's no limit to perfection. Constantly improve the way you do it and your energy. And guys, let me know what are some of your tips, some of your questions maybe, or something you would like to talk about, because I just figured out that there are a couple of other comments. Here I see Bulent who says, positivism is the key for positive results in life. Totally agree. Yeah. So it's like optimism or positivism. That's exactly the word. That's a very interesting word. And it is a driver of a lot of results. And here I see Tracy who says, I couldn't agree more. If you're looking for a wonderful coaching platform that specializes in energy, she recommends one Kiwi platform to basically join. There are, by the way, yes, a lot of platforms to join and learn happiness. There are some based in Europe, there are some based in Asia, and all around the world. You need to find, if you are on this journey, you want to be more energetic, you want to change something, basically to bring that fire back into your life, truly, I would recommend either commit to it. If you know that you can do it, there are some people that can make a public commitment and then they can manage themselves and achieve results. They can just grow and they can do things to improve themselves. There are people like that. But most of us need some external motivation, and hence going to platforms as Tracy just now mentioned, or joining some mastermind groups. I keep talking about those mastermind groups that are so important, especially if you're in business. You need to have like-minded individuals that are above you, that you want to be like, with you in the same room or on the same call to exchange ideas. It's your new peer group. You must be a member of a mastermind group, or a marathon. That's also something rather new, especially here in Asia, but essentially it is let's say 4, 5, 6 weeks where you have a marathon leader, where you have a successful person who's been through this experience before, and they essentially give you assignments once or twice a week, and you must complete them. You go all together with those hundreds of people. You do that. You walk through the journey, be it positivity or like for example, right now I'm going through a financial marathon, and previously I was through some other marathons. It's absolutely phenomenal, right? And the thing is, with the marathon, they give you assignment, and if you don't complete it, they kick you out of the group. They don't refund your money. So this motivation is very, very high. Besides that, there's a little bit of peer pressure, because you basically see people being deleted like every couple of days, so they didn't complete their homework, right? So some of us can't do it by ourselves. Some of us need some external motivation, but essentially it's not, it's not rocket science. You need to either do it yourself, and there are tons of books on the subject as well. It's just a habit, to re-establish this habit. Or you, again, join some groups and get some peers or coaches that walk you through this process. And I get this question a lot, by the way, about coaching and, like, oh, there are so many coaches out there. You don't need so many. You need somebody who you can relate with. You need to get somebody who resonates, whose message resonates with you. And also, very important in my experience, you need to pay your coach so much so it motivates you. If it's a free thing, we just don't value it. If it's cheap, that's how we treat it. You need to pay. And like the most impactful coaches that I had, I paid them so much. Like honestly, at the time I felt that was too much. That's like so much money per session or per course. But in, when I look at it now, it was exactly the right amount to motivate me, to get me there, and to walk me through the process. And everything happens for a reason, again, in this life. So guys, get yourself coaches, and if necessary, join some platforms or just do it by yourself. Energy is the key. If you have any other questions, do drop them right now. I would love to know, or any other comments. Oh, here we have a few more. Angeline says, positive energy is something rare and truly can be energizing and productive for a team. Thanks for a reminder. It's hard time when you are still in the office at 10 p.m. Oh no, Angeline, leave the office. And by the way, guys, another very important tip, sorry, and Angeline, this one is for you. Another important tip to keep your energy is put yourself first. You need to take care of yourself. You need to find the time, the activity, the juice to rejuvenate yourself. And if you're so busy that you're in the office, it's like literally it's 10. And if you are, Angeline, if you are right now in Hong Kong, leave right now and go for a nice foot massage. Like honestly, you need to take time to take care of yourself. If you do, it's just like, you heard it hundreds of times before, but it's exactly the same procedure as on the airplane, where you first put the mask on yourself and then you put a mask on the child or the person next to you. Exactly the same thing. You are not able to help others. You're not able to perform at your peak. You're not able to love, take care, think, etc., at your top capacity if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're exhausted, if you don't love yourself, if you don't put yourself first. And it's not about being selfish. You cannot give your best if you're not at your best, right? So in order to be energetic and energized, leave, go, get yourself foot massage. Some people love sports and that helps them relax. Do that. I love drinking tea. I drink tea all the time. I do leave office. Right now it's a little bit different because I was traveling a lot, and right now I need to be in the office a lot because my books are launching, my video program is launching, my Shanghai Masterclass is coming soon. We're gonna launch the paid, a lot of things are happening, but essentially you need to, I used to leave the office at like 4 o'clock, and then I would go and I would take care of myself, give myself time to rejuvenate and give myself time to think. As leaders, you need to give yourself that space. If you don't have that mental space and you're just running together with the pack, you are just an operator. You're not a leader. You're not a business owner. You need time and mental capacity to think. So Angeline, I hope after this long rant, you've already left the office and you're not there. Leave, go. I hope you're not watching this already. But if you are, stop it right now, switch it right now and go. Go. Here I see Michelle. Hi Michelle, great to see you. What would you recommend as a way to show up in a rather negative situation, yet arrive as a beacon of positivity and energy? Tips like meditation, basic brain gym, kinesiology. Right. Tell me more about this negative situation. If something negative is happening, I think, and especially if a lot of people are involved, what is happening is everybody is focusing on the bad thing or on the bad angle. So if you want to be the change maker, when you arrive at a place when, everything is bad, you need to, again, show up at the highest level. You need to have this highest energy, because the person with highest energy in the room always wins. So first of all, you come in, you have this highest energy, and you do one thing. You change the focus. You just change the focus. How to do that? If you're a true leader, if you own this, own your basically energy and your presence, the moment I tell you, oh wow guys, check this out. Check this out. Right? You start looking that way. People change focus the moment you point to something else. And this is the most effective way. And in terms of like meditation and brain gym, etc., if you're talking about working with the whole team, I know there's a lot of people that are doing meditation and mindfulness in the office to also basically work through some psychological issues or negativity, etc. I'm not practicing that with my team, though for many months, or maybe even a year or so, we were doing sports with my team together. So we would actually once a week on Thursday have a hardcore workout, and I would invite a personal coach, and we would just do it together. It's great for team building. You sweat together, you laugh together, and you basically spend time together. It was phenomenal, but it wasn't to help. So I'm not a specialist in meditation or guided meditation, etc., so I cannot really advise, but I know people that achieved phenomenal results there. I think that all of your top managers need to be trained in this positivity. They need to walk through some sort of mastermind or marathon, right, to get themselves there. This is actually a great idea. I just thought about it. A marathon on positivity and high energy. I'm gonna write it down right now in my ideas book. What other thoughts or questions do you guys have? Let me refresh again and see. Yes, I've got a couple of new comments from you as well. I hope you're getting value. Oh, thank you so much, Michelle. I see your comment right now. I hope you're getting value, guys. Let me know if you are. KWTO says health is wealth. Absolutely, I totally agree with you. And here we see Bulent. Ashley, I noticed you accidentally on LinkedIn, but have to admit that you are one of the most efficient people ever. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. I'm glad that, you know, technology brought us together, and I'm truly grateful that we have this opportunity to be so far away and yet you know, be connected through digital means. And Luis also says, I love your energy and knowledge. Regards from Peru. The same thing, Luis. Thank you very much for being with me today. And guys, on this end, it's been almost 30 minutes. I'm going to finish up, wrap it up. Thank you very much for being with me today, and I hope that provided you a bit of insight into what energy is, at least in my world, all about. And I hope that you're not just going to consume this content, but also act on it. Raise whatever your baseline is, raise your standard and go get them. We're gonna chat real soon. Have a phenomenal day. Bye, guys.